Hello and welcome back to another day in the arena. It's me, it's CGB. Today, in the arena, the 12 days of Yorion continue with a Simic Yorion deck built around the food mechanic and packing in some of my favorite cards. Let's have a look. Yep. By going to 80 cards, you can take the mono green food deck and extend it just a little into a few other themes. You can get a little bit more food in there. You can get adventure in there with Edgewall Innkeeper and Brazen Borrower to go with Lovestruck Beast. And you can get in there an artifact theme with Emry, Lurker of the Loch, one of my favorite cards that I don't get to play too much because the artifact decks, the blue artifact decks on their own aren't good enough. They don't have enough power. But in this deck, Emry is certainly made to shine. There are two big things that can happen when you play an Emry. One is when you mill 4 cards, you can hit a Feasting Troll King. That's pretty sweet. And two, you can find a Great Henge. That's really sweet. And you can cast it from the graveyard using the Emry tap ability of choosing an artifact card in the graveyard and casting it this turn. Other fun things you can do include playing the Witch's Oven so that you get your Troll King Witch's Oven combo together. The other fun thing that you can do with Emry is you can sacrifice Golden Egg to create a kind of loop. If you sacrifice the Golden Egg, even to itself, it goes to the graveyard. You can target it with the Emry. You can cast it again. So Emry is its own value engine, but the other value engines of the deck are already amazing, as you've seen in Mono Green Food and as you've seen in other decks like Team or Adventure. Edgewall Innkeeper, Brazen Borrower, and Lovestruck Beast can draw a ton of cards. Feasting Troll King and Trail of Crumbs can draw a ton of cards. One thing that I like about this deck compared to the regular Mono Green Food is that you have Vantress Gargoyle. Vantress Gargoyle can be cast from the graveyard by Emry. It is a 5/4, so it helps you play the Great Henge on turn 4, just like Kazandu Mammoth or Lovestruck Beast does. The thing with Great Henge on turn 4 is that very often what you might end up doing is playing your Mammoth or your Lovestruck Beast. The opponent sees it, they think the opponent's going to Henge next turn, and they kill them. But with Vantress Gargoyle, you put it out there, then the next turn you play the Beast, then the next turn you've played 2 threats in a row that have to be answered, or you get to Henge. Often the opponent might have 1 removal spell, but maybe not both. Or, if they do have 2, sometimes they let the Gargoyle live, because they see it as a very slow threat, since it can't attack until the opponent has 7 or more cards in their graveyard. So either way, you get to Henge more often, and Emry helps cast the Henge. One thing I would really want to do is get a 3rd copy of the Great Henge into the deck. Maybe trimming a land is worth it to do something like that, but I'm going to roll with the deck as it is. This is a good deck to be an 80-card deck. I know that people pick on me for trying to turn everything into Yorion just to have a Yorion, but it's really worth it when you can't fit all the packages together. If you wanted a food deck, like most of these cards wouldn't fit into it. If you wanted an adventure deck, a lot of these cards like the food package wouldn't fit into it. If you wanted an artifact deck for Emry, a lot of these things wouldn't fit into it. But as an 80-card pile, it can all come together in a very beautiful way. We also get to run some sweet lands like Seagate Restoration and Turn Timber Symbiosis, and we beat them to death with the food engine. But one thing I found with this deck, it goes a little faster, a little higher, and a little harder than the typical food deck. We have the same engines with Feasting Troll King and Trail of Crumbs, but we have more of a deck to draw to, and we get into the air. Gargoyle and Brazen Borrower attack through the sky, and that can often be enough to beat the mono green food decks that we come up against. So, really looking forward to playing this one. I've had a good time with it so far. So, let's get our ranked on, continue the 12 days of Yorion, dive in, and let the nonsense begin. Pico, Pico, Pico. Pumping peppers, something. Against Yorion? Are they mono red Yorion? Are they trying to psych me out? 2-lander with Golden Egg on 2. Not sure what on 3. 2 Wicked Wolves and Oven, though. Oven is often the best card against control. This is a tough one, but I think it's actually good. Okay, land off the top. Unfortunately, it's a Castle Garenbrig, and we need a blue. That is a bit tough. Not a forest. Do we want to play a gargoyle and get that started? Or do we want to play an egg? Let's start the gargoyle. Let's see if the opponent brought removal for it. Probably. We do have a great henge we'd like to play if the gargoyle gets to hang out for a minute. Omen of the Sea on 2. Will this be Esper Doom? Will it be Emry Yorion? A lot of ways to kill a gargoyle in all of these decks. Eventually they decide on the Heartless Act, and away we go. And we're back. Got another one? If we top deck an untapped land, it's right into henge time. Assuming they don't kill the gargoyle. Which they do, because they're a Yorion deck with 2 copies of Heartless Act. Ah, we would have had it. Alright, so what should we do this turn? I feel like we might want to play a Witch's Oven and get a Wicked Wolf onto the field. We can't do both. Like, we could also buy Yorion this turn, but I don't think that's particularly good. Let's go for the egg. It is a food, so we can sack it to the wolf. Here is the oven. Let's see if the opponent just brought a negate for that. Okay, they're fetching. Their hand so far has been boom, 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 like rapid fire answers. I was hoping they'd have some clunky cards, you know what I mean? But nope, they've got negate too. When those cheap answers line up this way, it's almost impossible to win. Here's Ashiok. Let the parties get started. Lovestruck Beast. Is that a thing? Of course, Wicked Wolf can go after this, and then they have to have something to deal with the wolf. That's a good start. I could also make the 1/1 if I sack a food, but I don't know if I want to sack a food because of the wolf. But I do feel like we need battlefield presence. The thing is, Extinction Event might be what they use to get rid of the wolf, so I probably shouldn't do that. Alright, they make another 2/3. We don't have anything in exile, thankfully, yet. And now they say go. So if they have a counter for the second wolf, ugh. Henge is lit up. If the henge is lit, we are very legit. You can also make 7 mana to play wolf and Lovestruck Beast, but we can't make the 1/1. This is tough. This is a very tough spot to be in. Alright. So, I really want to kill this and attack the Ashiok. That's what I really want. So, let's start with a Heart's Desire Lovestruck Beast that they might counter. Okay, they do not. Then we'll go for Wicked Wolf. Counterspell achieved. Down to 1 card. They'll probably block. They do get 2 exiles, and then they can ultimate the Ashiok. They don't block. So we're taking this down to 4. If we take it down to 3, then using its -3 ability will kill it. And we make this immune to a Heartless Act. Plus the opponent might forget that the egg is a food. Let's see if they respond to this with a Heartless Act. Nope. Okay. Alright. So now Ashiok can't -3 to bounce the wolf and make me exile it or the henge without taking itself out. And I do think that's very important. I don't really want to discard the henge.
My kin are delightfully friendly.
Alright, another land. The last card is usually Ugin in this deck. And they're not buying Ashiok. They're not buying the Yorion, so I don't know. I don't know what to tell you. Is it an elaborate bluff? Do we go for the henge? I think we go for the beast in the draw. They have to chump this. We can definitely lead that way. Keep on going. Keep on going. Double block. Alright, let's see what we exile. Wolf. Innkeeper. We'll eat this food. Make it a 5/5. Now we could make a food with the goose. But I don't think just to kill another 2/3. Is that a good play? Then what are we doing? Just playing beast? Nah, we can do better. Besides, this all might be some kind of a setup. Cling my oven. What the heck are they doing? I guess they can flash back the cling? Alright, we know that they're on a last card here. Should we go for henge? Could definitely be a game breaker. They're going to cling again and try to draw into a neutralize. Although I don't know if they have the mana for that. It would have to be negate. They need exactly negate. And if they're running the list that just won the Zendikar Rising Championship, then they only have 2 negates. Resolves. Alright, now what? We can make a food with the goose to continue to protect the wolf, and also play the innkeeper. Innkeeper might die to something, but I think this is the play. You have to remember that the Ashiok might minus and try to exile something, so we need to keep a card in our hand. And the innkeeper will draw one here. Oh, that's a good draw too. That makes me a little sad. Let's go ahead and generate the food now. This is a good game. Like, of course, my opponent had a ton of answers early, and now our mostly green deck is trying to win the late game by drawing more cards than our blue-black opponent, which is so opposite day in Magic, in traditional Magic. Usually it's the control deck that just can't be beaten in the late game. If you don't kill them by turn 5, you never win. And here we are just trying to grind through. They had a turn 5 unopposed Ashiok, which is crazy. That's a Seagate Restoration. We have 2 blue sources. We could draw into more. Let's make some mana. Let's play the Love-Struck Beast and get the cards rolling. Alright, a Fabled Passage can go fetch another blue. Here comes another wolf. You know the opponent's longing for some extinction event. But naming odd or even, who knows? Ugin, of course, is also a thing that eventually can, should, will happen. Alright, as far as attacking Ashiok goes, do we throw away the Innkeeper here? Or the 1/1? Because this part I'm sure about. If we do this, then the opponent, if they block one of these, they lose the Ashiok. Maybe that's the plan because they plan to Ugin, in which case we may as well do this anyway, not give them any more value. Because that's definitely the next step in their evolution. Ugin. Alright, fighting to preserve the Ashiok is probably it's a good sign for us. Means that they're probably still digging for the Ugin. And again, the Ashiok minus is off the table because we get Ashiok under 3 loyalty, so you can't take one of my pieces off the board. Go get another island, play Golden Egg. Man, a Yorion turn. If we get to have a Yorion turn from this position, oh my lord. But you can't expect that the blue-black deck will just let us do whatever we want. They'll find something. 2 to the bottom. They are digging for it. Will they find it? How many times have we sat in the same seat? How many times have we dug for the answer? There's a 2-3. There's a Yorion. Without the Omen, it's much less impactful. It can reset the loyalty on the Ashiok, but there's still a giant green truckload of beef headed at the Ashiok next turn. Three mana open could be a neutralize, but they haven't had neutralize for several turns now. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. I have enough mana to cast the Restoration and cast a Lovestruck Beast, but not also make the 1/1. If I'm going to do it, I should do this first, right? Like, totally. I should totally do this first. I could attack first and make them defend the Ashiok if I'm not going to attack with the Innkeeper, that makes sense. Alright, that's what we'll do. Die. Just die. If they defend the Ashiok in some way, then we get to play Seagate Restoration. Which, I mean, to me that sounds like an amazing thing to do. Opponent locating blocks. That still lets Ashiok die. They must have some kind of removal spell. Alright. Let's go for it. Can we kill him? Can we kill them? Okay. Now there's still mana open. The opponent could play Counterspell into Ugin and be right in this game. Let's go for this anyway. I'm doing it. Live bold. Live dangerously. No! Okay. So be it. Let's save the creature because the opponent might wipe the board here. Triumph Cycle. Scoop. Yeah, counters are good and all, but if you're getting hit by just a giant green wall of beef, your counters won't save you. What is with these pitifully slow hands on the draw? They're just terrible, and you know we're against aggro. I mean, I guess I keep it because of Wicked Wolf, which was something epic that was missing in the last game. And the opponent's going to lead with an oven. Okay, we get the mirror. That's a terrible emote. Serves you right for rushing ahead. Like, you went first. You're the one spamming crap on turn 1. You're Mr. One Drops. That's pathetic. You don't know how to emote. Oh yeah, I know, the Mythic Land's really holding up here as I flood into Oblivion. If they have Henge next turn, it's gonna break my heart. But hey, we might have a Henge of our own. Who knows what could happen? Henge? In your 60? Does your 60 card deck have Henge? No, you don't. Oh, baby. But I have wolves without food. I don't know what's worse. Guess we need to thin this deck. I can make a... Oh, can I play a wolf this turn by making this a 7/7? I think I can. Want to block? You need that 1/1 if you're going to attack with that beast. All right. Oh, baby. What a turn. What a draw that Fabled Passage is. Messed up is what that is. Give me your Mammoth. It's going to have a +1/+1 counter because of the Henge. Opponent's like, food. Yes, please. How many Seagate Restorations am I running? Need to... It's kind of absurd how many times I've drawn 2. Might come in handy this game, though, if we can stabilize our battlefield a little bit. Henge goes a long way towards that. You gain plenty of life. 2 life a turn lets you take even hits from the mighty Lovestruck Beast. My gosh, I might just play the Seagate Restoration. Would I survive? I mean, in mono green, they don't have an Embercleave. Maybe a Primal Might could kill me? But we don't have any food for the wolf right now. So maybe I do need to spend a turn just going up to 14 and casting Seagate frickin' Restoration. They're on empty. I'm doing it. I'm doing it. Let's go. Let's go. Oh my gosh. What is this flood? All right, from now on, we play this game super defensive. We're trying to win the long game. Here they come. So here's a block. Opponent gets to kill 1. We get to take down 1 beast. They take out the wolf, which makes a lot of sense. Their ooze can now be a 5/5. That's important to keep track of because we might use our Wicked Wolf to try to fight the ooze. So we have to have enough food to do it. Which 1 food will do. We can play Gilded Goose, we can play Wicked Wolf. There we are. There you are. Alright. Enough Moana. Five Mammoth confirmed, but we're not going to attack. All right, Goosey. Raw. Double oven. Okay, I guess we're not making Garen Brig mana. We could still draw into another creature, but it's right now very uncertain. Now, they can force me to sacrifice this food and then use the oven, which I think they should do. So they get some food out of their scavenging ooze. Yeah, there's no more creatures. They can't make it any bigger, but they can throw... they can make mana with the food, throw a goose or something else in there, and then eat it. And then they still have their ooze, but there's no more creatures in the graveyard, so I don't think that's particularly good. Okay, and they do get rid of their ooze. But if they knew about the Emry, they might have reconsidered that, because Emry getting back artifacts could be a thing. We will see. Emry. And we hit a golden egg. So we can get an egg out of the graveyard. That's nice. That's more value. I'm saying that while I have the henge. That's literally drawing me cards for free. And I'm excited about that. Shows how crazy I am. Alright. We'll kick it over to you. Again, I'm not going to attack. I just want to make sure I survive the next several turns. Because if we buy this Yorion and play it with all this stuff going on, oh my goodness. And I know, the opponent has Trail of Crumbs, but they have to pay mana and sacrifice food for their card advantage. Alright, they found the Troll King. Here he comes. Roar! It's a lot of food. I need that food. I need less land and more of that food. Do you think they'd kill the Emry? Like if I double block this beast? I think they'd kill the Emry. They're scared of the graveyard, right? It also keeps getting back great henges. So who wants to take this block? We could just take the hit. Save these to battle the Troll King. Sounds fine. Alright, 6 life is kind of scary though. Another Emry, huh? So, Yorion, we would draw 4 cards. We would mill something, we would kill something. Not what we need to do, though. I think what we need to do is acquire a lot of food and make our Wicked Wolf big enough to block this Troll King and this Lovestruck Beast indefinitely. I think that's where we need to be. So let's grab this food. Let's play this Mammoth. Probably play a Trail of Crumbs too. Draw those sweet, sweet cards. Ooh, I like that. That one makes me happy. Trail of Crumbs. Now we can start getting paid when we sacrifice foods. But the Brazen Borrower, I mean, Brazen Borrower isn't great against Oven, but it does just slow down what might be an epic attack at some point. Settle in, guys. I am down for a long game with this particular Yorion food deck. It's fun. Our opponent might have an Ugin in their deck somewhere. I'm not even very afraid of that, since we have the Seagate Restoration and can just build up a billion cards in our hand. The main thing Brazen Borrower is good for is stopping the opponent's Wicked Wolf when that happens. So as far as them just spamming Troll King at us, we'll just build a big Wicked Wolf and it won't care. Alright. So, Wicked Wolf here. Blocks like this. Food munchied. The opponent doesn't have mana for a Wicked Wolf, so we'll go ahead and draw cards here with our Trail of Crumbs. Another land. Holy crap, the land. What is going on? Now they get to bring that back and they get to draw 2 cards, and it's all lovely. It's all I understand. It is great. Trail. Okay, there's their Wicked Wolf. That's what Brazen Borrower is for. It puts it off for a turn, to be fair. It's not great, but it's something. Roar. Alright, so we should sacrifice this golden egg because we can replay it with the Emry. And we can draw with Trail of Crumbs. So, sack for a blue, because blue's the best color. And autopay. And now we have a Troll King. Yay. Food. More sweet draw engines. Lovestruck Beast. Alright. Let's crank out some mana. Here's my Troll King. My turn. Another castle, because why not? Let's play this. Make Heart's Desire. Hold up Borrower mana, I guess. The opponent might try to fight the Emry. I guess that's not a big deal. And we could try to pressure our opponent's life total, but against their trolls, it's not a very good idea either. We have this unlimited hand size. Let's just keep using it. Wait. 7 of them are land, though. 7 of them are land. Just throwing that out there. Oh my goodness. Alright, they can still replay this wolf. Let's see what they target. Alright, so they can eat a food here. We can make them eat a food here. They might even use the Trail of Crumbs when they do. So let's resolve that trigger, see if they do. This means they can't replay the wolf this turn. They do get a henge. Ooh, do I need to bounce the henge? I guess it doesn't matter, right? They're playing it for just 2 mana after all. You know they're happy to see that henge. You know that's... Ooh. You know that's doing it for them. What the heck is this game? How is this game ever going to end? Well, I have flyers. They don't have many flyers. Maybe that's my way. I have Vantress Gargoyle. I have Brazen Borrower. Can also deck them. 39 to 45. Okay, we've got a long way to go on that, don't we? More borrowers. Yeah. Raiding them in the air might be the way. The actual way. And now it's starting to come together as we draw more of these cards. I don't know if we for sure want to Emry out something, so let's start with attacking with the troll. It has vigilance after all. Also this wolf, which is indestructible. Now we have to try to close. I said we were going to be defensive. we definitely accumulated the better battlefield, but not the better hand. But now it's starting to look doable. Now we've got to close the deal. That's it? Okay. Cool. That's a big hit. I think the opponent's going to be surprised by all the flyers. Green, 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 green. Make a whole bunch of green. All right, first things first, gargoyle. Oh, oops. I thought I still had a Heart's Desire token to make, but I didn't. My bad. Okay. Shall we do this? Let's do it. This is going to be fun. This is going to be fun. Do we want to reset you? We can eat the goose. Is that important? Yeah, why not? Reset the hand, reset the trail, submit. Yorion! Oh my gosh, one of the most epic Yorions in the history of the channel. What more could you ask for in the 12 days of Yorion? Oh yeah. Get him. I've got to be close to out of land at some point here. Apparently not. I still might deck myself, but I'm going to look good trying. Let's go hide all these lands that will never be played and are basically stuck in my hand. This Fabled Passage, though, that can stay near the top. So, now what? Get out of that if you can, is one of my favorite lines from Disney's Robin Hood. The cartoony fox. Oh, we're going into Get Back Troll Mega Draw with Trail of Crumbs. Let's resolve some triggers, shall we? Good times were had. Another King of Trolls, yep. By the way, they only have 4 cards in their graveyard, which is kind of absurd, but that's where we are. It's going to be a while before the gargoyle can attack. Oversight, maybe. Oh, Thrashing Brontodon, huh? I'm really curious to see how they try to dig through this. They can do things like Wicked Wolf, kill the Emry, and then Brontodon, kill the Henge. But I don't know if any of that's any good or if it's too slow. They can just go for all about troll spam. That is an option. Let's see, they've already used one oven. How do I get them to tap the other oven so that I can brazen borrow these trolls? Making them recast them is pretty good. They go for the Bronto. There's still a Yorion in the sky. There's also a Gilded Goose in the sky. And sack of food for life. I am on 11. Maybe that's not terrible. I can also sack them to the wolf. Oh, well, okay. Here comes the opponent. Maybe this will get them to use the oven. I don't know. Easy blocks. Another innkeeper. We have the extra mana, let's use it. Another innkeeper. Not really what we need here. More cards? Not really. I'll take one. So they can bring it all back. They can draw another card. Yep. How much damage do they take, though? Alright, what's the way? I have 2 borrowers. Is this one in Adventure Zone? This is. So I have one that can bounce something. Bouncing the Troll King won't really do me a lot of good. Let's see, they have 4 blockers. So they can block 1, 2, 3, 4. This can't attack, so they take 1, 2, 3, 4, plus 5. 9. Not enough. But if we bounce one thing, then they take another 6. That's 15. That should be lethal. Petty theft. Resolves. Alright, anything in the graveyard I'd rather get back that could somehow remove another blocker? I don't think so. We could try to dig another Wicked Wolf to hit that Brontodon with Turn Timber Symbiosis. Let's try that. Bingo. There were only so many cards left in the deck, and we've taken every wolf we've seen with Trail of Crumbs, so we knew it was nearby. Everybody, including the goose. Oh, I didn't play a land. Is that going to cost me? No, I think I still have enough. I was supposed to play a land there. Pump the Mammoth. Isn't that funny? With all these lands in my hand, I forgot to play one. I was going to play the Fabled Passage. Roar! You die now. Woo! Yeah, baby! That game was epic. It's a cute little hand. We're up against a Yorion deck. Should have time to torture them. Man, I'm telling you, aggro. It's just dead. Unless it's mono red Yorion. Yeah, I hate these temples so much. If this was a pathway, think how good our mana would be. I think maybe we're just better off running basics. I don't know. I'll keep it. Just need to curve out here, right? Put pressure on the opponent, draw into some card advantage stuff. Tempting to play the egg, though. But then the beast isn't very aggressive. Look how bad it is having to Heart's Desire there. They could have negated. They could have Jwari Disrupted. Just with the way that the format works, it's so much worse if you can't make a play on turn 1. So much worse. Absolutely punishing. Alright, Omen of the Sun's a thing. Let's go for the beast. If they counter it, we get in with the token. If they don't, we don't attack with the token. Two Omen of the Sea. I'm jealous. I'm quite jealous. I like having those on the board when I'm a Yorion deck. A lot. Oh, we are Esper. Okay. I played against 5 Esper decks with this deck so far. Esper seems to be the most played deck in the meta if you go by what I'm running into in Diamond. That is weird. I don't even think it's nearly that good, and I love Esper. I don't think it should be even close to the most played deck in the meta, but, I mean, what can you say? What can you say? Let's get some of our pieces on the board. I don't think holding up Brazen Borrower against them does much. Maybe it hits a Doom Foretold. That's best case scenario. But next turn, because we drew the castle, is a Troll King. Elspeth's Nightmare. We have a Seagate Restoration. I'd rather not lose, but what can you say? I guess we can bounce it, but we're still too... We're just not going to get there in time. We're just not going to get there on time. Why didn't I make a food? Bad CGB. Alright, Troll King of an Assemble. Unfortunately, the opponent has the Nightmare. And the Nightmare might, if they have instant speed removal that can hit the Troll King like Heartless Act, they can time it up with the Nightmare to get it exiled. We might bounce the Nightmare, like we have the Borrower. In response to that, we could bounce the Nightmare, unless they had the trigger already on the stack. Depends what they do. Depends how good they are at Magic. Ooh, take 3. Is this an ECD? Can also slam the Yorion. They could just be dead, though. We can attack for 12. They have to kill something. Yeah, Yorion would be... Yeah, the ECD, now with the backup, it holds off the Troll King for a few turns, which is great for them. But they are going to lose the Nightmare. So do we bring this back? I think we still do. We can bounce the ECD in response to them casting the Yorion. Or we can just bounce it now. Yeah, it's going to go off, right? And that's a problem. So they want to play Yorion, flicker ECD. If I bounce ECD, they'd have to spend their whole turn replaying it. And that won't work. But if this goes off, I don't have enough mana to do it and play the Borrower. So I may as well do it now. It gives away the plan. But everything was face up. They know about the Borrower. So that shouldn't be surprising. So what are you going to do? I think we just put them in the toughest tough spot. When's the last time it was right to Brazen Borrower and Elspeth Conquers Death? Has anybody done that before? Feels weird. Hedron emotes. Victory. And we are back for the post-game wrap-up, and that was an exciting time. Seems like more value than you can even stomach, and you might think the Yorion is just extra, but don't forget that game where we blinked so many permanents, drew like 5 cards off the Great Henge, had Seagate Restoration, so no max hand size. We even got to bring back the Wicked Wolf, kill another thing. Oh, glorious. Glorious Yorion moments, for sure. And, God... Sky Noodle has given us so much. Just been there for us day after day, putting out all kinds of different decks and strategies and blinking all kinds of different permanents. Does that sound like someone you know? Someone in your life? Does it sound like maybe a YouTuber whose channel you may have subscribed to, whose videos you may have watched? If you feel like you have received so much this year, at the bare minimum, a Magic the Gathering video of nearly an hour's length every single day of the year, then please consider supporting the channel. YouTube memberships, you can hit the join button below. The revenue is shared with charity. It's $4.99 a month, cheaper than Netflix. Another great way to do it is Patreon. If you are feeling like supporting the one and best of one this holiday season, I could really use it. I would really appreciate it. I've got a huge goal that I'm trying to achieve. I don't want to talk about it too much in person. Let's just say it is a noble one, trying to bring a great amount of peace to my family. So if you would like to support the channel, you don't have to. If you don't have the money, please don't. If you don't think you have enough money to take care of yourself and your family, please don't support the channel. But if you're enjoying the content on a regular basis and $4.99 isn't too much to ask, consider checking out the description, going to Patreon, or hitting join here on YouTube and getting a membership and supporting the show. Thank you so much to all of you. I also, as we get closer and closer, I want to thank Maddie B for editing these videos. Maddie B, go ahead and do something. Alert the people to your presence here on this video. Does a great job with some of the special edits, and I know he's having fun with the 12 Days of Yorion, and I know you guys are too. But that wouldn't be fair without also mentioning my other editor, who is the kind of no frills, get them up, but make sure they're there every day consistency, and that is Rudy at YouTube Makers, an editor who was originally referred to me by Merchant. Yes, the one and only Merchant on YouTube. So I can't thank Rudy without thanking Merchant as well. Without an editor, without two editors, quite frankly, because you gotta have plans on top of plans if you're gonna get a streak over 600 videos in a row. Without great editors, this streak would have been over so long ago. So a moment of appreciation for Rudy, for Maddie B. Thanks for everything that you guys do. For Merchant, for directing me, to Rudy, which started the streak in the first place. Thank you very much. A little holiday cheer for you guys. On that note, thank you for watching this video. As always, I will see you in the next video. Goodbye. My favorite editor is Maddie B.